Good afternoon, esteemed viewers. We welcome you once again to Fine TV Gambia, your only viewpoint. Today, we are at Sukuta Nemasu Senior Secondary School to cover their annual Islamic conference. The association was established in November 2017, but the first conference was held in June 2018. This is the fourth Islamic conference since it was established, and the main purpose is to raise funds to complete their mosque in the school. Stay connected as we continue with the program.
الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على محمد رسول الله وعلى آله وصحابته أجمعين. After giving due thanks and praises to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and soliciting His blessings and peace upon Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, a man who is greater than ordinary men, a man who is even greater and more important than history itself. Because Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is the maker of history, and he is the person who changed the entire human outlook and understanding of life and outlook to life. In fact, the human tongue and the human mind is not profound enough, or it is not even encyclopedic enough to find the right words of praise to give to this person called Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So simply to put my idea across is, any generation which is lucky to be within the perimeter, to be among those to whom the message of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has reached or arrived, I think they are the luckiest generation, conditional that they know the value and the essence of a man called Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the value and the importance and the relevance of his behavior, conduct, and the message that he has brought from his Lord through the archangel called Jibreel sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In observance of the necessary protocols of any gathering, I must first of all extend my sincere, heartfelt greetings to the principal of the school and to his teachers who are running the school with him, and to the students who are the subject matter of the school. And I must extend my greetings to my mentor personally, Sheikh Ustaz Cham, who has always been a source of inspiration for me personally in this country. Because I could still remember when he called in one of my programs, he was advising the Gambian youth to be listening to what I'm saying. So that actually tells a lot about this man. And anywhere there is goodness, righteousness, and something that is advantageous to community, to society, to the nation, Ustaz Cham is there. May Allah give him long life and good health. He has demonstrated his selfless service to humanity and his proper understanding of exploiting the potentials of man. Because we were talking about the masjid, and out of the blue, suddenly, he developed a very good methodology of getting money out of the people, voluntarily or involuntarily. And at least here is some form. May Allah give him blessing for him. Well, without wasting much time, I think I was given a topic about Christmas, but I decided to tell, in fact, I think he is entitled to greater praise. The good name is what? Huh? Musatura is the number one person who is entitled to be praised. To get me sometimes it's just like looking for a needle in a sand. But he is able to follow me 24 hours, day in, day out, communicating with me, reminding me. In fact, out of that exhaustion, out of that sense of, giving a promise and not being able to fulfill it, he has compelled me to be here today. May Allah bless him. My topic is the youth. It was suggested that I should discuss or I should dilate or talk about the role of the youth in national development. But I think the Gambian youth need more than that. They need more than to know what is their role in national development. Because I think before you ask somebody to work, you must provide all the necessary conducive conditions for him to work and to become productive. So there are a lot of challenges that are facing the youth. Some of them are internal and the others are external. Some are subjective, others are objective. Some are social, others are political, and others are economical and even psychological. There are a lot of challenges and problems facing the youth in this country. So before we tell them what is their role in national development or in communal development, I think we should set the standard for them, the challenges that they are supposed to face in the course of executing what is their role or what society has asked them to do. And the only place where we can find that solution. Sometimes solutions can be partial, but a complete solution for a complete problem could only be found in the Holy Quran and in the Sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When we say Sunnah, we don't simply mean the verbal memorization of his words. It is the interpretation of those words into action to influence yourself and to change society and attitudes. This is what we mean by Sunnah. Not merely you are just, repeating what you memorize, about his sayings. No. We want you to interpret what he has said so that it has an impact on yourself. Your behavior is a mirror. You reflect yourself to society. Society accepts you and it becomes a pattern of living and life in that society. This is what we call real Sunnah. I wish I could say this in Mandinka, and I will do. I'm going against my own principle because I've taken that undertaking never to deliver any lecture to any Gambian in a language that I and you do not understand. English is not my language. It's not your language either. And sometimes if I want to say certain things are their nuances, that is new things. If I want to say them in English, I am laboring, double laboring. You may not understand what I'm saying. But give him Mandinka or Olaf or Fula or Jola. So, but anyway, we are dictated by circumstances and by time to do what the people want and not what our revolutionary instincts want us to do. For that matter, let us go back to the Holy Quran concerning the youth. Surah Al-Baqarah, verse number 33 or 32. And listing the challenges that are facing the youth in every generation and every time. وَإِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي جَائِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً. You see, the Gambian youth are the Khalifa in Gambia. The Gambian youth, because a society without youth means there are only old people living. And when old people are the only people living in a community, that is a dead community. There cannot be any production, and even there cannot be any new baby in that society. Then the youth are the potential builders, and the youth are everything. This is why when Allah created Adam, Well, we can even think that he was created as a youth, not as an old man or as a baby, but as a youth. When Allah pronounced to the angels that he is going to place on earth a vicegerent, a deputy, that is going to do his will accordingly and will be sending prophets and books so that those people will be guided, or that deputy will be guided according to the will, to the execution of the will of Allah. So let's take Adam as an example. Funding kelu anem funding musul. Angale kawa yambola wala but I must do it. Somebody would say, okay, manding ko bijan jola bijan fulo bijan will do man mandinga kawa. You know, this is our problem. We must overcome this formidable problem. Because before we become conscious people, liberated people, people who have understanding, ingenuity, people who can think for themselves, we must translate every idea into our language. It is a cause of our backwardness. But Europe is developed by Tubabukan, but Gambia is made backward by Tubabukan. So the youth, you must understand this. This is very important. Because if you don't understand this, you will never be part and parcel of national development, much less your communal or your family development. So for that matter, Adam alayhi salam is the first youth by an example to be created. But after creating Adam, what Allah said, وَإِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ, when Allah announced to the angels that he's going to create a Khalifa, a powerful vicegerent, a deputy, to be placed on earth to do his will, what did the angels tell Allah? أَتَجَعَلُ فِيهَا مَنْ يُفْسِدُ فِيهَا وَيَسْفِكُ الدِّمَاءَ. Are you going to place on the earth someone who is going to be cause of corruption, and at the same time that corruption is going to be cause of bloodshed on the earth? These are the challenges of the people, especially the youth. Your minds are corrupted. Your souls are corrupted. Your bodies are corrupted. A young girl was speaking here, and she was lamenting over the exposure of the feminine body in the Gambia, which has become a Fogajai phenomenon in the Gambia. The feminine body has become a Fogajai phenomenon in the Gambia. You see, women, let me tell you one thing. If you expose all the beauties in your body at your tender age, before you reach the age of maturity, nobody will look at you, because all the beauty will disappear as water evaporates when the heat of the sun is on it. Don't do it. Don't do it, I beg you. You don't have to sell your soul. You don't have to sell your body to the devil. You give yourself to Allah and to Muhammad and to your community. You can do that only and unless you live according to the principles of Allah. You are not a fogajah, you are a human being. وَلَقَدْ كَرَمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ وَحَمَلْنَاهُ فِي الْبَرِّ وَالْبَحْرِ. You are the most honorable being that Allah has created. You cannot take your body and make it into a fogajai. Even the body bunkers are now tired with fogajai. Ibijanneba. Anja fa mo kidina, dinda fa mo jaba kundang kole. Jaba mo badi kole. So this is the problem. The first challenges of the youth is we are living in the 21st century, the century of the internet, and very, very fast technological developments. But we are not part of that making. We, the Gambian youths, we are not making part, we are not contributing to any technological advancement and development. We are mere consumers. That's why internet has become one of the biggest challenges and one of the biggest causes of all the social problems that we are facing in the youthful community in the Gambia. So be very careful, you the youths. Your first challenge is corruption. And that corruption leads you automatically to bloodshed. This is why all the killings statistically that were mentioned in the Gambia, either discovered or undiscovered as a crime, all of them were committed by the youths, either female or male. All the past killings that we've been hearing, haunting the entire national mind, disturbing the entire social structures, even the security ones, were committed by the youth. Because you've been corrupted mentally, psychologically, spiritually, physically, and at the same time, even nutritionally. What you eat, you are corrupted by what you eat. Hanal coming to my corrupt. Well, I think I'm baby poor and dick. Even more kachata, the next minute I far. Iko amna bota kachal. Ani kura mo betama kan 1,000 years. Abetaka afata no one meleka for na bota kachal. That man was a bomb, a disease. That man was filled with disease. So you are the youths who are supposed to correct that situation. You are the youths who are going to take charge of the national development, communal development, family development, personal development. Let's get an example of this school. A very tiny community. You can develop it. Not only coming in the morning, going into the classroom, listening to the teacher and taking notes. At the end of the day, exam is there, you pass and giving a certificate. No. This is why any education without the underpinnings of ethics. Jikote karanwa karanto akasunyaro le wulu mokon. But in the Gambia, PhD don't akasunyaro. Diploma bukasunyaro. Because jikote je. Andele mamwe tinje wale sunya. PhD ni masters akasunyaro. Amanke konka PhD le doya anka masters doya de. Because a detail a nyami wala tinanko tubabu kan karango mu fitinoleti bari tubabu londo mu ko kendoleti. Europe was built by tubabu knowledge, but Africa is underdeveloped by tubabu count. That's the difference between them. Tubabu londo and tubabu count mankele. Angale mete karandi fenda for good morning. How are you? Go there. Come there. Afale bende fala ni angale kambala mba fola jam fon tarata. Because my mind is working on two lanes when I'm speaking English. I'm observing the syntactical, the grammatical structures. And I'm using bombastic words so that I can impress the students. When I make mistake, but remember, you see, it's a problem. Okay, look at Adam. So be very careful. These are your first challenges. Because the lectures I want to give, I don't think time will allow me to go deeper into the entire aspect of what I want to present. So what I will do is, I will make it a crab walking lecture. This is what I'll do. Because there is no time. Otherwise, it's a very important lecture. But look at Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ قَالَ إِنِّي أَعْلَمْ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Allah says, I know what you do not know. So if you want to get what is called transcendental knowledge, knowledge that is beyond time, knowledge that is beyond the school, knowledge that is beyond your own time, you must go to Allah's source, that is the Quran and the Sunnah of Muhammad. This is why Allah says, this is why inni a'lam ma la ta'lamun. I know what you do not know. And to make sure that Allah to demonstrate to the angels that Allah says He knew what they don't know. Wa allama Adam al asma'a kullaha. Adam was installed. Adam was taught. Adam was educated. Adam was naturally fed. Adam was given all the means of understanding and discerning and discovering, observing, imagining, experimenting, and concluding. Adam was given everything. Walatinda nalko tubabu le londo suto. Ngontolo wonte malonto fonkata dad. Ite manke alati, ite mantara talari dula. Ite kashifa mwe kafu ale tubabu le so londo la arabu so kodola. Ayete so minela ni si buwa banga ni mfoka jai. Ayete so minela. Ite numbota adama le bal. ite ka talaro ke fangoy ala ka fay ko fay bi talaro to la num bang ite man talaro to ite man sonde la do ko wala kala because ala Ibrahim Adam somebody Adam allama Adam al asma'a kullaha, all the attributes, all the essential ingredients of knowledge were put into Adam, and it was flowing in the blood of Adam, and I am part and parcel of Adam. As long as I am part and parcel of Adam, I am supposed to be an educated being to build this world. Parin toltem wol bunya la fonita da tubabu du ye karam kayena hadi momo karanta mo findu buka bunya. You know, there is mental slavery. Kill that mental slavery in yourself. So walakin ala jubeba ala ko wa allama Adam al asma'a kullaha. Adam was taught with all the attributes, with all the, let me put it into simple English, with all the adjectives, with all the names were put into Adam. But if somebody asks you, how was Adam educated? Was there a classroom? Was there a teacher? And was there a subject? Or was there a syllabus or a curriculum? There was no classroom, there was no chalk, there was no blackboard, and there was not even a school. But Adam was educated. Walatin na follow to kebali kan karandi school kono imbukata school, kaditol manta school. Because Adam adeda I found beka konole, and this is what you go to biology, advanced level of biology, what we call the genetic codes. In every genetic code, there is that power to know. Because Adam adingolo yende dale pulse londos. Wa allama Adam al asma'a kullaha, thumma aradahum ala al malaika. Then he displayed all those things before the angels and asked them to inform, to give him the names of those things. Look at the superiority of man when man is given proper education. Look at the superiority of man. Youthful. You use this is your first superiority power. وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءَ كُلَّهَا ثُمَّ عَرَضَهُمْ عَلَى الْمَلَائِكَةِ. What did he say? فَقَالَ أَنْبِئُونِي بِأَسْمَاءِ هَؤُلَاءِ إِن كُنتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. He asked the angels to tell him the names and the attributes of those things. If at all what they said earlier, أَتَجْعَلُ فِيهَا مَنْ يُفْسِدُ فِيهَا وَيَفْسِكُ الدِّمَاءِ is true. قالوا سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. Praise be to you. We have not knowledge except the knowledge you've given us, because you are the wise and you are the giver of all laws. So for the youth, your first challenge is corruption of your mind, the corruption of your soul, the corruption of your body, the corruption of your living condition, the corruption of your spiritual existence as a Muslim. Because we are living in a time, the greatest challenge for a youth is to live as a youth one, to live as a youth an African, to live as a youth as a Muslim, and to live as a youth as a third world person. These are the 3 or 4 dimensions of problems in our societies. But look at it. Funding Kiru, Allah Sembo, Womu Londo Damalet. Londo Dama. ولكن على جبا منك وعلم آدم الأسماء كلها أي آدم كرندي فما بيرلا أياكا جاتو كن أياكا يلو كن أبينا بيرو نلكاتو أفعل آدم دمول تاتا بيفو نت فلم بديامو كمايكروفون ولا وكانت لا كمو ورندي مول فلي كان نتال دنيا بيبن جوبيكا at the same time londo leono bri آدم على يدنا أو londo سببو بيك آدم جاتو كن ولا ما دي تبابو دمال أيا دي تكامبيون ولا بريتا تاتا فوكا جاي وافولا تبابو تاتا كراو. Foga yo ka botu babo famale babo dendi kamen dum fa badata bul foga jay is a conspiracy foga jayo mu jamfalati alsewolo nimmo ka foga jayo tabake akadum o maribuka hamosu to nata fantun dendi ko deda foga jay is a conspiracy. I hate it, and I must say that I hate it. Foga jay ni moto kotol be mu jamfalati ni dia wala tina gambe mo be buka wori na moto soto na foga ye momo je silo kan dendi ka mulun jawo ba bala foga jaya bondi wala dendi ka furi ni muso bente buka jube no asante foga jay dula dendi ko mi ka sam wandala ti o mu dendi kale foga jay is a conspiracy. Let's use our mind. tubabo mam bay fay dula le sota ya ditel dol badi mun kolle folo yana ti je ma jam fanam buri kala sa ala ma len be ma so ku folo mo minti fondin kel pour aliye do ko ke allondo nyini bari ma fo londo min ka soto kayti ken sangola nkole londo min ka kayto bunyandi because it is the certificate you yourself, you the youth, you give the certificate a value. It is not vice versa. Kana son certificate wa a value dealer. Ni wakati ka kuriyani. You must make sure that you learn properly. You must make sure that you do your research properly. You must make sure that you study properly so that you can achieve a very high constructive level of knowledge. A knowledge that is not going to be limited to yourself alone, but a knowledge that is going to be instrumental in changing your society, your family, and your nation. This is your first responsibility. You see, social media, name it, especially the women folk, the girls. What benefits do you have from social media? I think you know that your mobile has a limited megabytes. It uses limited megabytes, isn't it? Yes. And you know that a mobile itself has a lifespan, a limited lifespan. A mobile after 5 years become an old mobile, isn't it? Because the Europeans, we are consumers. The Europeans, in every minute, they are developing a new mobile system. Isn't it? So you are not contributing anything to social media. And look at the beautiful name, social media, for social interaction. But what are you putting into social media? And what are you getting out of social media? Ask yourself. The Gambian youth or the Gambian community and society, there are three things that we are very good in doing with social media. Backbiting, rumor mongering, and copying what other people are doing. Koma kumari furimo, aninka kwibari kuntangol janjang, aniye musoja aye pare wala kambano aye pare. Aye pare kawa kuwa ke the next day Gambian kambano fana ye nyungwa. Ngo, hani beyangol buka beyangol copy. Andele man yankumo jaka wulo manya copy. Nyankuma buka wulo copy. Wulo ka manya leke nyankumo ka manya leke. Wala tina ni nyankumo lafta wulo silandila ka fon warandila ko wulo kanta nyami. Wulo yaje ka fana waratale. Ora buka fon doya ndika fon ke nyang wulo e kundi ngoti wulo ba do molale. Pariti e fon ke social media atolu mondo ti benna kidi mondo ibe do molale. So this is a problem. Social media is a big problem. Look, let me tell it on a very serious note. As long as we are unable to manage, to control, and to direct the contents of social media for our youth, never sit down and entertain that one day our societies will develop. We will always be slaves, not only even slaves, but slaves of slaves. So this is a big challenge for you. Go to the Holy Quran. وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءَ كُلَّهَا. Adam was taught all the values of everything in this world. And you are from Adam. And Adam was the first Muslim. And you are a Muslim. And Muhammad ﷺ is the messenger. The book of the Quran, verse number 9, in Surah Al-Isra, the night journey, إِنَّ هَذَا الْقُرْآنِ يَحْدِي لِلَّتِي هِيَ أَقْوَمُ. The best guidance is this Holy Quran. But all the buts, all the defects, all the disease, all the negatives, all the minors are existing in our midst. What is the cause? Because we don't identify the challenges and we don't know the causes, we will never be able to prescribe the solutions. Is it time? Time? Well, anyway, time has come. It's very short, but anyway, to just brush everything and put it in one crucible or in one time. You know, yeah, it's good. Sometimes it's good to be very brief. Sometimes it's good to be very brief because even 10 hours is not good. It's not sufficient for me. But what I should say is for the youth, make sure that you understand your culture very properly. Gambian youth. Nko, alalla ado long kendek. You see, problem we are living in a time called a generation cultural warfare. Momo la chosano kanatela dorong itebe kala nyeret yemen bondi jiokon. The Gambian culture is lost. The Gambian culture is dead because the Gambian youth are infected with a culture called the non-cultural culture, a culture that is called the global culture. There is nothing called a global culture. There is something called a social culture, no global culture. Global culture is another name for domination, transgression, oppression, psychological control, and mind control. So Latin, alal hakilo tubake, ila adolon kendake anila chosano, ila kunun know your history yesterday, what your people did. They will tell you that Mongo Park discovered the River Nile. They will tell you that Armstrong was the first person to go there. They will tell you that Wilberforce was the first person to stand against slavery. All these are hooks. All these are fabrications. It was your own great-grandfathers who did everything for you. All the history that we've been taught in the classrooms are just bogus history. Yal karani fon fe na man correct. Hani teacher bi janne mba fule. Abe man correct. Ka to teacher min ke karandi o teacher man wo buko safe. Ya diala le kaye karandala. It's bogus. It's not true. The only book that is defined as the best of books is the Holy Quran. Yani ahsan al-qasas, the best of narrations. Authentic, infallible. So for that matter, alalla chosanolo aliyalla kunullo. Aliyalla dinolom, you are a Muslim or a Gambian Christian. No matter what is your belief system, you bring it into line with the true Gambian culture and you live as a Gambian. Don't allow Christianity to Europeanize you, but rather Gambianize Christianity. I think you get my point? Yeah. I told Musolu Fanan, Alkana song Aliyeke Queen Merity wala Queen Anne. Na lafta kala Musoti a role model. Alkila la Musoluta wala Saibe Musoluta. Ningwal Fanan Jam Fatal Vekatu Moma Minja Bukalala. Na Musuke Balu Mintambeta Jambalu ni Mama. They were very, very beautiful. Their lifestyles were very great. Al Walter Aliyeke role model. Anim Fanan, know what is your responsibility in your society. Nin sunkutolom iwlu muso makoy nin kambanolom altapala padomoni ataya mingotala anin coupe jube ni sila kanto coupe ala tala al kumira nimbal na fala som dale woke dron dunia be diala and make sure that you are able to connect yesterday to today so that you can build your tomorrow. Otherwise you are going to be a loser, and a loser in a world of competition is just like a dead vulture. You know vulture? Yes. Vulture is that big bad me alonko when something is dead akajia kampani but I'll never tell you la fenka duodoma mani asabu ka to duona fa moment duomu KMC lati akambalito le samba but atefa mu mbalito tina kitambalito tembuka te domono wala tinne buka duola fureje. Have you ever seen the dead body of a vulture? So don't be a vulture.
Yeah, say before you drop the mic, I would like you to give an advice to the Gambian youths in terms of attitudinal change towards disciplines that is lacking, especially in the social media, the number of insults.
Yeah, I told you bari wambo fula maninga kamala. Akopruka ya marodi funding killa ibe manyal falin na nyadi ani jerinya mimbe dendin social media tamandi nyala how we apply or use or exploit or utilize social media. You know, instead of putting something in, an input or output that is advantageous and beneficial to community, but what we do is we keep on insulting each other, imprecating each other. We have even reached a level whereby Gambians have already signed the certificate of some Gambians that they are going to hell. So social media is not for that. So, but you know, it's very good. The question is relevant. But you see, the problem is human living or human society is connected. It is a domino principle. When you touch one domino, all the dominoes fall down. You know, we need to correct the behavior and the attitudes of the elders. When that is in line, then the young one will be in the correct path. This is why 50 years back, the elders were in their right mind and in their right shape and doing their right functions, and every society was fine. But when the elders departed and defaulted in the execution of their duties, what actually happened? The young people, took their places, and the young are inexperienced. And what follow is, instead of using the mind, they are using the heart. And this is the cause of all the insults and the imprecations that are volleying around in social media. At the end of the day, we are the victims because we will end up being the vultures. And no animal ever eat a vulture. And when a vulture dies, everything comes to a stop. May Allah prevent that. May Allah help us. And may Allah give us wisdom, understanding, so that we can live our lives according to the principles of the Quran and according to the teachings of Muhammad sallallahu and the good companions and our good culture, our good history, our good conscience, and do everything right and never to be selfish, all the time to be selfless and to do whatever we want to do for community, not for ourselves, and try to look beyond 100 years, not to be looking for today only. Gambia wala kairo fi bi, ala fita mo bi, ayado mo bi, wala tinna mbuka business wo keninga ken kaboy. Tili wotili ninga firo ken lafta ka profito dom o ka business wo tinyale. Alama ale mbe makoy, alama ale karambo yirwa, alama ale funding kel barakandi, alama funding kel buri la dino long, alama ye alalong anyama, ka alalong wolong kasila alala kala ya maroke, kabula kila no ma wolong almindi la yake. Wolom ku kendo nasiyata dunia ku kurungo ka doyale ku kurungo dunna doyata alay dunia de damina kamma ayade da yin kamma wala tufsidu fil arda ba'da islahiha. Don't distribute or don't allow corruption to be on the earth after it has been made good. So this is our mission. May Allah help us. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi.